Hello there friends, I hope you're all feeling good and welcome to this video about enqueuing your style sheets and script files. So enqueuing your custom script files and style sheets are pretty simple. It's not that difficult. And the reason why we want to do that is just to, for one, keep your code clean and organized. But the main reason is that so we don't run into risk of running the same script twice or get any conflicts between different scripts or different style sheets, so you don't mess up your WordPress site. All right, so you can enqueue your style sheets or script files directly in the functions.php file. But I prefer to create a separate file and then call that file in the functions.php file. So let me just show you what I have from the start here. So I have the ordinary YouTube CIY theme, and in this theme folder I only have the basic file structure. So I have a functions.php, which for now is empty. And I have a front page.php, which just contains the header and the footer, and a simple h1 tag says hello from front page.php. And that's about it. No script files, no style sheets, no custom style sheets, at least. And in the front end, it looks like this. So you can see here just a sample page, the menu, my beautiful menu. Then the hello from front page.php h1 tag, and then the footer down here. All right, so let's go through this here, right? So as I told you earlier, you can enqueue your file directly here in your functions.php, but I like to keep my things a little bit more organized, so I'm going to create a separate file for this. But first, let's create the style sheets and the script files. So what I like to do in the root of my theme folder here is to create another folder and call it assets. And in this assets folder is where I'm gonna save all my custom style sheets and custom script files. So in this assets folder, I will create another folder and call it CSS. And in this CSS folder, I'm going to create my custom CSS file. So I'll just simply call it CIY underscore style.css, and then also create a JavaScript file. So again, new folder. I'm just going to call this JavaScript. And this JavaScript folder, I'm going to create my script file. So CIY underscore main.js, like this. All right, very simple. Now let's take a look here in the front end, and I'm going to right click and choose view page source. And as you can see here, if you go down here to in our header, our style sheets are not is not in here. So if we do a Control F and search for it, and I call this one CIY style. So let's write there CIY underscore style. So as you can see, no, not found. All right. So I need to bring this one in the WordPress way. So let's take a look on how to do that. So as I said, you can do it right here in your functions.php, but I'm going to create a separate file for this just to keep everything a little bit more organized. So in my folder, my includes folder, I'm going to create another file, and I'm going to simply call it enqueue.php, like this. All right, so in this, file, I'm going to create a function, and I'm going to call this function load scripts. So first, PHP tag, and then function, and a load script. You can call this anything you want, but just for simplicity, I'm just going to call it load script. Then in that way, we know exactly what this function will do. All right, so in this load script function, I'm going to enqueue my my style sheet first. So it's a built-in WordPress function we're going to use here first, called vp enqueue style. So vp underscore enqueue style. So take note of the spelling, enqueue. It's a weird spelled word for a lot of us. So take note of the spelling, vp enqueue style. And this function takes in a few parameters here. So let's go through all of these parameters here, right? So first bit is to tell WordPress which style sheet we attempt to use. Okay, so in our case, we created a style sheet called CIY underscore style, and that's the one we are going to use here. So we're going to simply put it in the name here. Okay, and it has to be a string. So also let's remember, you have to make this name unique. So there's no other style sheets that has the same name. There will be a conflict otherwise, right? But a good way is to put in either your initials, or if you have a company or agency, put in that name first and then style or whatever. So I'm going to put in CIY. That's pretty unique out there, right? So CIY underscore style. So that's the string name that is unique here for my style sheet. Okay, and next parameter I need to bring in is we need to tell WordPress where to look for this style sheet. So we are going to bring in another function here. It's called get template directory URI. So let's go there, right? Get template underscore directory underscore URI, then a parenthesis, and then a period, and then a string with the URL to where your style sheet is located. So it starts from the root of your theme template. And remember, I had saved it in a folder called assets. And in assets, I created another folder called CSS. And in this CSS folder, I saved a style sheet, and I named it CIY underscore style.css. So that's that. All right. Now, next, we need to find out if there are any dependencies. If this style sheet is depending on any other style sheets. For example, if you have a jQuery style sheet or any other style sheets that you want to bring in. But for this example, I'm going to leave this one empty. Actually, it's an array. So what I'm going to do is going to leave the array empty like this. Now, the next thing we need to bring is the version of your style sheet. So since this is the first version, I'm just going to put 1.0.0. So that tells WordPress what the version is, and you can either set this as a string like we did here, or you can set it as a boolean, or you can just leave it empty. So if you set it to string, the version number will be added to the URL of your style sheet. I will show you later what it will look like. And if you set it to false, the version number is automatically added, which will be the same as the WordPress version you're running. So if you're running WordPress 5.5.2, then it will be the version number here will be 5.2. So that's that. Now the last thing here we're going to put in is the media type. The types you can use here is all, print, and screen. You can also set the media queries, like if you want a min width for 1200 pixels. But the default value is all, so we can leave it empty. But the most use case here will be all, so I'm just going to put it in there. All right, so that's pretty much it, and let's end it with a semicolon. So now you have enqueued the style sheet here. So let's save this file, and then let's take a look here at our front end, or actually let's go to our style sheet. So let's make a change here. So in our body tag, I'm going to make this background red. Red like this. Let's save it, and then let's head back to our front end, and let's first have a look here. Let's refresh. Nothing happens. Why is that? So let's take a look here in our header. So let's refresh this one, and let's search for CIY style again. And as you can see here, not found. That means we need to bring this one in, which we haven't. So let's do that. And the first thing we need to do is we need to go back to our enqueue.php file. We need to add action here. So it's a function, also comes preloaded with WordPress. Simply write add underscore action. And then there is a another hook here, a function from WordPress called wp underscore enqueue underscore scripts, and we need to add our own script here as well. So this one up here, load script, which I'm going to do load scripts since we have many, and also as a string, then end it with semicolon, and let's see if this one works. So let's head back here, refresh, still nothing happens. And if we refresh here and search again, it's still not here. We need to do one more thing. We need to bring this file in here to our functions.php. We need to tell WordPress to look for this file, that this file exists. So the way we do that is that we simply go to our functions.php, and we're going to bring in the enqueue.php file here. So how to do that is we're going to use require like this, then get template directory, template underscore directory, parenthesis, and then tell where to find this file. So I had it in my ink folder. So go from your root into your ink folder, and in your ink folder, let's find the enqueue.php file, then end it with semicolon. Now if we go back to our front end, let's refresh. You can see we got a red background. And if we refresh this one, and let's take a look at our enqueue CIY underscore style. Let's write it again, CIY underscore style. As you can see, it's right here. And as you can see here as well, you see the version number here is 1.0.0. If we would change it here to just have a false, and let's save it, refresh, you can see 5.2.4. I'm running WordPress version 5.2.4. So that's how the the version number works. I'm going to change it back, however, to my previous version. Which is version 1. So that's the style sheet. And next thing we are going to do is we are going to bring in the our JavaScript file. All right. So I'm going to remove the background here, body tag, and in our front end, you will see now the background is gone. So let's bring in our JavaScript file. So the function we're going to use here is a similar function. It's WP underscore Enqueue, but instead of style, we are going to use script. And notice it's just script, not scripts. So script, right? Otherwise, it won't work. So WP underscore Enqueue underscore script, and it takes in pretty much the same parameters. All right, so it's basically 5 parameters here, and we're going to take a closer look. So the first one is obviously the name of the file. So remember, again, make it unique. So I call mine CIY underscore main.js. So I'm just going to call it CIY underscore main, like this. Next, we need to tell WordPress where to find this file. So here, same get underscore template underscore directory underscore URI, parenthesis, and then a dot, and where this file is. So again, from the root of your theme into your assets folder. Then in my assets folder, I created a JavaScript folder. And in my JavaScript folder, let's look for CIY underscore main.js. So that's the location of our script file. Next is if we have any dependencies. So yeah, here's for a jQuery, of course. Right, so again, it comes with as an array, and we're gonna leave it blank for now because we don't have any dependencies. But if you would have, you just would put in jQuery or whatever name you have for your file. Okay. Next is the version number, and it works the same here. So I'm just gonna have version 1, and the same there. If you have it false, it will take the number of your current WordPress version. All right. Okay, and then the last parameter is going to let you choose if you want to place the script in your header or in the footer. So it's actually a boolean, which is a true or false statement here. So if you put true in here, it will load in the footer, and false will load it in the header. So one note here is if you want to put any script files in your footer, you have to include a function called vpfooter in your footer.php. Otherwise, it won't work. So I will show you what that looks like. So first, let's just put it as false and save. And since I don't have anything in here, let's just go straight to our page source, and then let's refresh. All right, then let's search for our CIY underscore main. Okay, so it's right here, as you can see. Okay, so this one is obviously in the header of our WordPress file. So if you want to put it in the footer, then you have to put in false sorry, true over here. Let's save it. So let's see if it works. So let's refresh. Now it's gone from our header, but if we look in the footer, it's not there. Now, why is that? As I said before, we need to use a function called wp_footer in our footer.php. So let's open up our footer.php. And in our footer.php, we're going to put in a PHP tag and then wp_footer like this. And let's close it. And that's this function here, wp_footer, is the same as this one here, wp_head. All right, so they will bring in all our script files and style sheets, and the same thing will this function do. All right, so let's have a look at our front page. Refresh. All right, now you can see here in the footer, you can see our script file here, right there. All right, so now it loads in the footer, and it's up to you where you want to load your script files. A lot of people prefer to have them in the footer because of page speed. Usually, if you have it in the header, if you have a long running script, then the page has to load the script first before they load the rest of the page. And that means sometimes the visitor have to wait for the script to finish loading before they can view the rest of the page, and that might lead to people clicking away from your site, and that's not what we want, right? So that's that. Now let's just make sure our script file is working. So let's go to our front page, and let's add in just a quick alert. All right. So I'm just going to put in a button, and in this button I'm just going to do an on-click event, and I'm just going to call it CIY_alert, like this, and then just name it like try it. That'd be fine. Save it, and then in our script file, let's add in the script or the function for this. So it's called function and CIY_alert, because that's what I called the on-click there. And let's fill it with something cool, like hello world. That's the coolest thing I can think of. You might come up with something cooler, but I doubt it, to be honest. Hello world is pretty cool. All right, so now let's go back to our front end, refresh. You have the button. Let's try to click it. Hello world. All right, so that shows us our script file is working, and it shows us that our style sheet is working. So that's pretty much it. Now you can add other files in here as well, custom made. Yeah, if you have any fonts you want to bring in, any icons for that matter, jQuery files. There's a lot of things you can bring in here with this Enqueue file. But I'm just gonna go through these two, the main files that we're gonna use in the beginning of any WordPress theme development. So that's pretty much it. So I hope this video helped you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next.